We're going to look today at using acrylic paints. When you use acrylics, you need to make sure that you squeeze out tiny pea-sized blobs on a piece of scrap paper, which is going to be your mixing palette. Acrylic paints, like gold dust, are very precious because they're quite expensive. We'll use scrap paper as a mixing palette to save on our washing up at the end of a lesson. Now, coming on over to my mixing palette here, we're looking at, this is the size that you want, sort of pea-sized blobs, maybe even smaller than that there. When you want to mix a colour together, don't just get the blobs and mix them as a whole, because that's wasting paint. Make sure that you get a little tiny bit on your brush, you put it to another area on the piece of paper, and you go over to the other colour to mix it and bring it together like so. Now, you don't necessarily need to keep washing your brushes with acrylics, because you want to kind of rely on the paint for the moisture rather than getting it too wet and soggy. Now, coming on over here to my little easel on my workstation at home today, there's an A2 really excellent example of an acrylic painting from a past student, and it's of one of those really detailed succulent plants that you might find. It has been built up over a period of time with all the beautiful detail being placed on with the acrylic paints, but that's one of my favourite examples, and that stays in my house, in my kitchen actually. Coming on over to this little orchid, again it's a tinier painting. It's an example of a past student's work, and it's highly detailed. It's got some lovely details on the texture on the little canvas there. Now, coming back to showing you how to use the acrylics, this is my set of acrylic paints here, and it's always nice as an artist to have your own equipment. We have a bigger white tube because, as you will find out as you start to do your acrylic paintings, you use quite a lot of white to blend and mix colours. This is my set of paint brushes, where I've got a range of wide ones to really thin ones for finer detail, and my water pot, which using acrylics we don't necessarily use that often. Now, I've got set up here at my desk, and I've got a canvas, I've got my outline drawn in pencil, and I've started to do a little bit of the butterfly, the really colourful butterfly that I've got here. Now, it's working from a photocopy from a book, so I'm working from a secondary source, and always have that near me and always looking. Now, I'm going to have a little look at doing the other eye on the butterfly there, and it's kind of like a violet lilac colour, so I'm going to come back to my painting there, and I'm going to mix my sort of light violet colour there for my eye, and then I'm going to come back over and do a little bit just to show you how to blend your paints and how to use your acrylic paints correctly there. So I'm using the paint straight from a mixing palette. I'm just going to go and get a little bit more white there, because I'm trying to sort of blend in so it's got a highlighted little bit, and I come back to getting a little bit more there in that. I'm looking all the time at that picture that I've got, and it's a little bit darker I think here, so I'm going to need to get a little bit of my violet in just around the edge there. Now, looking back at that picture, there's some textures on that eye which I'll work on and do sort of later. Now, once I've got this detail on here, I will start to kind of develop my background so that my background's done and it doesn't start going over onto any of my other detail that I might have that I want on the wing. And if the background does go over onto the wing, it doesn't necessarily matter if I've got my background painted. I can just paint over the top of sort of the detail there. And I'm looking at that's quite sort of, there's a lot of detail going on that background, so I want to keep blending my colours going outwards really, so that it's getting a little bit lighter as it's heading up towards the top there. I want to try and keep it darker next to the edges of the butterfly to show that we've got a bit of tone and a little bit of shadows and a little bit of texture going on. I'm coming back to looking at the body there, and there's some really nice patterns, really nice colours of blue. Now, because I know that that's butterflies bodies or are quite sort of textured and fluffy. I want to kind of keep that in mind whilst I'm painting. So that's kind of a lightish colour blue going on. I need to bring in a little bit of detail, and we've got another one starting to come onto his body there. Again, I'm going to use a little bit more white on the top and coming over. Yeah, might add a bit of my black coming down into the body there, where it's getting a little bit fluffy, coming out onto kind of the edge there, and looking back, oh, there's a little bit of purpley colour coming onto the surface there. Oh, might want to make that a little bit lighter so I can see it on the edge. And coming down here into this bit where it's getting a little bit lighter. I'm trying to keep it textured because it's sort of a fluffy body that butterfly has actually got there. Coming back to looking at the picture.